Is this the first ever Jurassic Park / World movie I've ever seen? Yes. Did this movie make me want to watch the past films after seeing it? Yes and no, for different reasons. And is this movie worth checking out in the theaters for you guys watching right now? Yes and no. Let me break that down. Many franchises have escaped me, and Jurassic Park is one of the big ones. Steven Spielberg in general is a blind spot in my movie going and loving experience. I really wish I had a chance to watch the past Jurassic Park and World movies leading into this film, but unfortunately I didn't have the time. But one thing I have to say about this movie that makes it really accessible is the fact that you don't have to see the past films to enjoy or understand this movie. It's very self-contained. It doesn't really go back and reference the past films that much. It's kind of more focused on this new adventure with these new characters for similar reasons that we get in these type of monster flicks. But it doesn't really reference too many different things where you're like, I don't understand what's really going on. If you have any general idea what Jurassic Park or World is about, you'll be able to jump right into this film. What I like most about this film is it felt like a classic adventure film. We really don't get adventure films like that anymore. Some swashbuckling adventures on the big screen with some high production. And it gave me that feel, especially with the music and the way they were traveling to these islands that I never saw before. I thought that was all great. And these scientists are traveling to this island of these uncontrollable mutated dinosaurs to get DNA for things that may cure diseases that humans have been dealing with for their whole life. It's been like a simple premise that we've heard in tons of movies. A simple premise that may be a little too simple in this movie to stand out. I think that the ingenuity in this film is on a very, very low efficiency. There's nothing in this movie that I feel like they did here to make it really, really stand out from a look perspective, from an action perspective, or even a performance perspective, unfortunately. One thing that they teased in the trailers that I was excited about was the mutated experimented dinosaurs. This island was the dinosaurs that they left on the island because they were too dangerous to bring on the original park. And obviously, even if you haven't watched Jurassic Park like I have, you know that it went really bad in the original Jurassic Park. So these are supposed to be the worst of the worst. And while the mutated dinosaurs look really cool, something straight out of maybe like a different science fiction project, I think that the problem, the way they use them, they function a lot like the regular dinosaurs throughout the movie. One of the best sequences in this movie is when the T-Rex is attacking this family that literally has nothing to do with any of the science experiments. They unfortunately got stranded on this island as well. And it's teasing the trailer, and they do a really good job of making it well-paced, well thought out, and also very intense. And I really wish the film had that urgency and that care that they had in that sequence throughout the whole film, especially when it came to the D-Rex. The D-Rex is the mutated version of the T-Rex, which looked like it came straight out of the Alien franchise. But unfortunately, the monster felt like it functioned just like the T-Rex did early in the movie, so it made it feel like this is just for show and not anything really special, so they could have just had the T-Rex come back and do this part. And while I think that some of the mutated animals didn't validate their existence in this film or make it feel any special that like I thought it was going to, one of the things that I've heard about this franchise, even though I haven't seen any of the movies, is that a lot of people enjoy it because it's some dumb fun, right? Like dinosaurs come in, they attack these helpless people, they rip some of them apart. Some of the characters that you like escape. And some of that happens here, but not enough. So while if you enjoy watching people get torn apart by dinosaurs, it happens in the film, but it doesn't happen enough that where I was like, oh man, this was crazy. There's some really gruesome deaths. I know that the movie is still headed towards kids, but there's still some ingenuity you could do there. And I think one of the biggest problems is Gareth Edwards, who directs the film. While I think that he is a really solid and good director, one of my main issues with a lot of his films is that it feels like he tries to make everything in a certain type of budget, so it doesn't go over budget, so his films can make money, which makes sense. That's what you're supposed to do. But he doesn't take any risks. He doesn't do anything that makes it feel like a special spectacle. It feels really basic. But while the movie absolutely looks gorgeous in its cinematography, while everything in the landscape and the forest and everything looks great, the movie feels like a smaller scale than it actually is. A lot of the kills that the dinosaurs do all kind of feel the same, so it doesn't feel exciting after the fourth or fifth time. And because he's trying to keep the budget down, it feels like the movie feels like a smaller scale than it's trying to actually portray in terms of like how the chase sequences are. It feels like it's in one location and they can't go past it, kind of like a video game. This part's not his fault, but it doesn't help that all the characters are written very one-dimensionally. Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali are trying their best with the little that they're given, but it's just not enough. And the rest of the characters are all one note, or they just make grunts or yeah noises and then get killed off. It's not much to the characters for you to get invested solely into them. I think the family that was kind of just out there just ride on a boat and trying to get to one place or another and they got swooped up into this adventure had the most character progression and had the most likability, but even then it wasn't enough. So this makes these characters feel like it seemed like it pales in comparison to the original Jurassic Park, because from what I heard from those films, because obviously I didn't see them again, like I said before, those characters sound iconic. I've seen those characters on TV and talked about throughout the movie space so much, and the iconic moments that they had, so it makes me want to go back to watch those original Jurassic Park movies to experience kind of this level of intensity and fun, but with better characters. So I definitely want to go see the original Jurassic Park to see the comparison there. But also, this movie also makes me not want to watch the Jurassic World movies, because this movie is pretty dumb. Right? There's a lot of dumb moments that happen in this film, but I heard that those movies are even dumber. Let me know in the comments below if that's the truth, if you've seen the original Jurassic World movies and seen this one. And one thing I think that the movie would have benefited from, if the movie was either about the scientists trying to get the DNA and we just focused on their adventure and spent all the 2 hours and 13 minutes of the runtime on them and trying to get the DNA, escaping dinosaurs and building that camaraderie between everybody. Or, which I think would have been more interesting, to focus on this family that's trying to connect with each other and then get stuck on this island with the most dangerous dinosaurs in existence. I think if they would have focused on either or, it would have made it a better movie, but having both of them in the same film and then have them separated for most of it, I think it didn't let each of like side stories or any of the characters connecting flesh out as much as they could. And then because of the mess that the third act becomes, a lot of the character arcs that it feels like they were starting on kind of just get lost. And I gotta say, I know I'm saying a lot of negative stuff here, but I did enjoy my time with the movie. As I was watching the movie, I was having fun with the dinosaur action. The movie has some jokes here and there that made me laugh. There's a particular character from the family, like this annoying boyfriend, while it was really annoying, was kind of endearing halfway through the movie and made some jokes that made me chuckle a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but chuckled here and there. I just think that we didn't get enough from there where you get really invested into these characters. And the plot was so inconsistent with the danger. I think that's what really hurt it throughout the film. Things that were really dangerous in the beginning of the film, by the time we get to certain aspects of the movie, they kind of just disappear. So then the characters get to do things and you're like, wait, but you were not supposed to go over there because these type of things were over there, and they kind of forget it. It was like those type of plot inconsistencies that hurt the movie, especially when there's like particular characters that totally should be ripped to shreds by dinosaurs, but they miraculously get away. And it's not like movie magic where they did it in a way where it's like, okay, only in a movie that you can get away from a dinosaur that way. It was more of like they cut away and then they somehow escape and they come back and they're like, hey guys, I'm alive. This is the ultimate turn your brain off, go get some popcorn, bring some friends, and watch a movie that looks really pretty with some really charismatic actors, even though they're not given much, and some really scary looking dinos that look extremely great with the CGI, and have some fun and turn your brain off. Don't think too hard about the plot. Just go in there and have some fun. If you are a fan of the Jurassic Park and most likely the Jurassic World movies, this is another entry that you're going to enjoy. For me, since this is my first foray into this kind of film, well, at least this franchise, I wasn't super impressed. I thought it was really fun. It's not something I'm going to rush to watch again, but I do want to see the other movies that people have said is better than this one, because then there's certain aspects that I really liked in this that I want to see in a better movie. So with that said, I'm going to give Jurassic World Rebirth a D. Question of the day is, what is your favorite film about dinosaurs? Drop your answers down below and let me know, and you can watch more content right now.